This is a $100 puffy jacket. This is a $500 puffy jacket. Both of these jackets are the best possible jackets that you can buy, in my personal opinion. How, you ask? We're gonna get into that. And we're also gonna tell you what makes them $100 and what makes them a $500 jacket. Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll at least have a better idea of what puffy jacket you should be buying. So there's really three things that I look for in a puffy jacket. I want it to be lightweight, I want it to be warm, and I want it to be packable. All of the other things, whether it's got zippers on it, whether it's got pockets on it, whether it's got a hood on it, that all comes secondary. It's gotta be light, it's gotta be warm, and it's gotta be packable. Also, a jacket has to look good. It's one of the few backpacking items that you buy that you're not just gonna take backpacking, hopefully. It's something that you get to wear all winter, all fall long. So it's gotta look good. Let's start out with this jacket. This is the Decathlon MT 100 jacket, formerly the Trek 100 jacket. It's changed its name, and it's a little bit more expensive than it used to be. It used to be 80 bucks, now it's 100 bucks. Thank you for inflation. This is the tried and true budget jacket out on the market. In my opinion, it's the best possible price. But there's some things about this jacket that you definitely need to know that this jacket over here is far superior on. But is it worth 5 times the cost of having that jacket instead of this jacket? We're gonna get into that. First off, this jacket is not goose down, it's duck down. Now, is that a big deal? Not really, other than if you really do your research, goose down overall is a more expensive feather, and it's a better insulator overall, but nominally in my opinion. So I've had this jacket on a number of trips. I've worn this jacket around town. I've had this jacket for about 2 years, and it literally still looks brand new. This thing is pretty much bomb-proof. It is extremely warm for what it is. I can wear this thing down to about freezing with just a t-shirt underneath it and be fine as long as I'm kind of moving around a little bit. I've had this on trips where I've scraped it, scratched it. I've had this on trips where I've hiked long distances and not really worried too much about the weight. So it's just a great jacket overall. One interesting thing about this jacket is because it's European made, the zipper zips up left-handed. So I think most ladies' clothing out there zips up left-handed, if I'm not mistaken. So guys, you're gonna feel like you're wearing a women's jacket, and that's okay. It is a little bit different, I guess, to get used to, but it's not that big of a deal. The baffles on this thing are obviously straight across. That's pretty typical of most jackets. It does have a hood, it's got pockets. This is what I would call a full-featured puffy jacket. It's got drawstrings on the bottom to tighten it up, so that way you don't have drafts coming in underneath you. There's no drawstring around the hood, so not really a big deal because it's got sort of this elastic here, which does keep it nice and tight around your head. So not that big of a deal, and it fits really well. Is it true to size? Not really. If it were me, I would be ordering up to, let's see, I got a US large, and this one is a little bit slim on me, but make sure you're looking at the US sizes on it. It's not that slim on me because I've got a little bit of a gut, so just maybe feels a little bit slim on me, but overall, it's a great jacket. The cuffs have a little bit of elastic on the inside. It doesn't look like it when you're wearing it, but the cuffs do have elastic on the inside, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches folded in right here. So when you are wearing this, that air isn't really gonna get up your sleeve. But for 100 bucks, man, this thing is absolutely nuts. Let's put the specs up on the screen. To keep things equal, we're gonna make sure that we talk about both of these jackets in the large size. So this jacket is 10.2 ounces in the large size, or 290 grams. It's filled with RDS certified 800 fill duck down. The material on the outside and the inside is a 15 denier nylon, and this jacket will stuff up inside of its own pocket. Did I notice any downside to this jacket whatsoever? Literally nothing. There was absolutely nothing that I noticed about this jacket that has a downside. I have lighter weight jackets. We're about to talk about one in just a second here. And even when I'm hiking or backpacking, if you switched out the two jackets, I probably would never even notice the difference in weight. So I just absolutely love this jacket. If there's anything negative to say about this jacket, it's possibly that the baffling is stitched in the middle where you know, it's sewn through, so there's potentially cold spots there, but that's like every jacket ever. I mean, if you ordered a sleeping bag that had baffles like this that were sewn just like this, where they're sewn together, where there's not like a spacer in the middle, so that way the loft isn't the same all the way through. You'd be really upset if you ordered a sleeping bag like that. But for some reason, we're okay with it on jackets. And the other jacket that I'm gonna show you is a little bit different. It handles the baffling a little bit different, but that's just a baffling change. It doesn't really equate to what I would consider it being more expensive. It does have on the inside this little, fabric here, which on pretty much every other jacket exists. So that way you don't get drafts through the main zipper. And man, I think it's a great jacket.
Fun fact, when we were with Sawyer in Kenya, we actually saw a Decathlon store in the mall in Nairobi, Kenya. True story.
Now let's talk about what I think is the best backpacking jacket on the market. But it's $479. We're just gonna call it $500 because that's pretty much what you're paying for this thing after shipping and taxes and everything else they make you pay. This one isn't the European zip. This one does zip up with the right hand. The quilting pattern on this jacket is quite a bit different. It's sort of got that boxy quilt, but I think it's actually better than the way they've done this because the down sort of wraps around and keeps those cold spots sort of alternate from each other, so you don't really feel like it's in one spot. You really feel warmth all over this whole jacket. This jacket weighs 237 grams or 8.4 ounces. It's 1,000 fill goose down, RDS certified, and the fabric on this is a 7 denier nylon. This one also has a drawstring on the bottom. It has zippered pockets. It has a drawstring around the head, which is a little bit nicer, I think, to have that than the other one because you can sort of adjust and tighten to your liking. And then this one also has elastic around the cuff, sort of at the end right here. It doesn't really fold up inside, which I like. Either way is just fine. And this one fits really well. This one fits a little bit more true to size in my opinion. It doesn't feel very slim at all. A large is actually a large. So one thing I want you to notice about these two jackets, and I'll put them both up on the table here. Hopefully you can see the difference in this. And I'm just using the sleeves here on this table so you can kind of see. But the loft difference between the two jackets, it's dramatic. This one is a lot more lofty, and this one is still got a decent amount of loft. This is probably more comparable to like the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer jacket. I mean, this jacket is almost identical in every regard, except for this one's a little bit heavier. This one is massively loftier. Loftier. The Decathlon jacket has 3.07 ounces of down duck fill inside of it, where the Montbell jacket has 3.4 ounces of 1,000 fill down inside of it. So it's got a little bit more down. Now, is an 800 fill jacket gonna be less warm than a 1,000 fill jacket? Well, not at all. The down fill just is the size of the feather. It's a puffier feather when you see a bigger number. So 1,000 fill is a very puffy feather, or plume, if you want to call it a plume. And an 800 fill feather is still a great high-end feather. It's just a little bit smaller. So they need more feathers to stuff inside of whatever baffle is inside of the jacket to give it the same amount of loft. And the other thing you want to know about down is that the more down that goes into something, they can't overfill it too much because then the down can actually compress itself and then it will actually lose insulation. So it's got to be just the right amount. And that's why the red jacket is going to be a loftier jacket because it's got quite a bit more fill inside of it, 3.4 ounces of 1,000 fill down. So it's going to be a loftier jacket, and that's why it looks that way. So the red jacket is obviously going to be warmer. I'll just say this. If I had to pick between these two jackets, and these both cost the exact same amount of money, I would, without question, be buying the Montbell jacket. I've had this on multiple backpacking trips. The only negative to this jacket is that it's a 7 denier nylon, and that just means that it could rip a lot easier than this jacket. This is a much more fragile fabric than the 15 denier nylon here. This is probably twice as strong. But I don't have any rips in it at all, like literally none. And this thing is absolutely a amazingly warm jacket. I could wear this all year long and be just fine. And matter of fact, I probably wouldn't want to wear it in the fringe seasons too much because it's almost too warm. That being said, is the Montbell jacket worth 5 times the cost of this jacket? I'll just tell you this. I bought this jacket with my own money. I did not get this sent to me. Bell did not like call me up and say, hey Dan, we'd love you to talk about our jackets. I make $0 off of this jacket. I don't even have an affiliate link to this jacket at all. And I bought it with my own money. Why? Because one, I wanted to test it out to see if it is really as great as people have said it is, and I really think it is. I think it is the best jacket out there. Is it worth $500? I mean, it's the best jacket. It's got a reason to be priced that, in my opinion. It's got everything going for it that a backpacker could possibly want. You get the most jacket for the least amount of weight. This jacket, however, $100. $100. And it is amazing. If it's me and I'm you, if you've got money to burn, you don't care about dollars, you're obviously buying this jacket. But if it's me, I am 100% buying this jacket. If you don't have money to burn, you could take the other $400 and maybe layer up with something. Maybe get the Outdoor Vitals Ventus hoodie, which is my favorite mid-layer. And that you'd still be $100 or $200 less than this jacket. And you can just layer up with those two things and be able to regulate the heat a lot better. This jacket is absolutely bomb-proof as well. I've had this for 2 years. It looks brand new. You want the best out there in existence just because you gotta have it, here's your jacket, in my opinion. But if you wanna save a crap ton of money, you wanna take that money and put it somewhere else, you want to buy other backpacking items, you wanna reduce the cost of your entire trip, maybe take that money and put it towards a couple hotel nights instead when your trip goes south or something like that, buy this jacket. Now there's a million jackets in between, and if you want to see what jackets I think are that awesome as well, if you want to see all the different jackets that I think are amazing, check out this video right here, and we'll see you guys on the next one.